Hello, my name is Trydar. Welcome to part 4 of the Roman Hippodrome tutorial. Let's pick up right where we left off. So last time we stopped right here where we are just going to start beginning to build the roof section with the tiles and everything made out of deep slate tiles and red nether brick. Now some of these tiles, if memory serves, you may not need to do. I think there's some couple of deep slate behind there you probably don't need. That's not going to be visible below here. So as we go, you know, like blocks like this, we don't. If it's not going to be visible, you don't have to have it. Like I said, this is another place where we can save materials if you don't want to build all this cobblestone filling and everything. You can save yourself some of the budget of materials. But as we go around here, you should only be looking at mostly the outer edge of this right here and here, where it has the alternating red nether brick and deep slate tiles. And in general, you can just go through here and alternate these and put them down like so. I think the pattern, when it's circular, it changes a bit from when it's straight like this, because when it's straight, you can have a nice tiled texture. But I found trying to keep that texture and then bend it around a big circle was not feasible. In other words, it ended up looking like a jumbled mess, so I opted for something else. But as you can see here, I think what we mostly do is you want to put down red nether brick right behind the top layer of cobblestone. And this top layer of cobblestone, by the way, that is on top of our entablature, which corresponds to roughly this down here that we put in there, except now we're going to be doing it for the roof. So I'm just going to go around through here and show you a glance of how that works. In some sections you can see that there are some missing, and I think this is because of some places we will have little cobblestone ridges that are going to go over the roof sections to divide them up into different modules. So if we go along through here, this might be one of those places where you might want to skip ahead a little bit in the video to see what the pattern is going to look like. Here's our center point, so we'll go back over here. But as I said, you might want to skip ahead a little to see what the pattern is going to look like before, well, no, we can do that right now. There's a complete model over here. Let's go here and take a look at this before I get farther into that. I think I should show this to you now so things will look a lot more clear when we get to that section. So here. So you can see here we've got this tessellated pattern, like so, right here. And when I tried to bend this around, I tried to keep the pattern, but it got really messy. In other words, I tried to make the nice tessellated pattern bend all the way around with the tiles and the slabs and everything, but for the most part, they ended up just looking like a mess. So I went back and removed all that and just made them straight across, which is going to be easier for you when you're building this here. So I'm just going to go through here and show you this completed section, and then we're going to double back and do it layer by layer, so you can have an overview of where we're headed. In general, what you will do is after you place down your red nether brick, the next level up from that is going to be the deep slate tile slabs. And then, of course, the whole blocks here are more red nether brick and deep slate tile slabs on top of that. But as we go, some of the sections get complicated, especially when we're over here near the 45-degree diagonal. Things can look rather messy, so you have to just sort of trust the pattern, and it's one of those things in Minecraft that it will look good from a distance. But you can see we have these divisions up here that I was talking about to separate these modules out from one another, like so. Because if I go over here to this model, we can see that the section that we're building today for the roof is just, it's meant to be this straight section here, which is what I built first, like so. But at the end, it needed to bend around in a big circle, which when you have blocks to do that is quite complicated. So in some sections, you just have to squish things together and hope for the best. All right, now with all that preamble out of the way, we can get back to the slices. I think that we did almost all of this one. I don't remember if I did the inner ring. Let's go over that, and then we'll go on to the next couple of slices. And once we get all the way to the top of that, that will be the end of this first third of the Hippodrome. Bending everything around in a circle like this, as I said, is one of the more difficult parts, especially with how large it is. Like so. And we'll go on to the next phase and take a look at that. Okay, so we'll start on the outside here. And then everything begins curving around. Now in some sections you will find that when you place the deep slate tile slabs here, you can save yourself some red nether brick because it would just be placed over a red nether brick. So you can save yourself some of the budget of materials for that. Of course, when I was building it in Creative, I didn't really take the time to optimize the build in that way. Sometimes I will convert the entire build to like one material and then put a sheath over the building that converts all the blocks to a second material, and then I will remove all those and put the cobblestone skeleton back into the building. So it would shave off like those little blocks back there. But because of the size of this building, it was I elected not to do that. It was going to take even more time and trouble on a build that's already taken quite a lot of time and trouble. There's our center line right here. So let's go back over here and go this way. But as I said, that's one of those places that you can optimize yourself as you're building it to save yourself some materials. Because I know red nether brick is not the most inexpensive block in the game. I mean, it's only nether brick and nether wart, which is both of those are easy to come by, fairly plentiful, I think. So I always like to make it in with the buildings. I think the texture pairs extremely nicely with these deep slate tiles for Roman roof patterns. One of my preferred colors, because let's face it, the default nether brick color with the I don't even know what color that is, like the eggplant purple or whatever. Not very appealing. But this rich burgundy with the red and everything, I really like that one, so I tend to use it quite a bit. All right, so next block level up, we are doing more tiling for our roof here, as you can see. And I think you can clearly see the pattern now, because all we're doing, if I take a top-down view of this, you can see we've got a checkerboard pattern going on here with the full blocks of red nether brick, and in between those are the deep slate tiles. So as we go, just keep that pattern in mind. And we will swing around the structure and take a look at everything. Try and go really slowly so you can get it all in. But remember, if I'm ever going too fast, you can use the speed settings on the video to lower the speed, or just pause and look at the section here and then build it off of that, which is what I assume most people do. All right, and here we are on our center line. Well, let's go back over here and look at the interior ring. As you can see, you're pretty much building the same pattern that you built on the previous level, just one block higher and set 2 blocks farther back. And remember, you don't have to worry about getting the pattern exactly right. The roof patterns are much more forgiving than things like the seats down there or something. You can just squish them in wherever you need to. Like in some places, the pattern gets broken right here because I didn't really have a choice with how everything worked out. I tried to move it around, but it didn't really work. So in some of these places, like here's another one. In some of these places, we will have to break the pattern up just a little bit. But anyway, unless someone lands on the top of this and takes a real good look around, they're never going to notice it. It's not something you can really see from the bottom anyway. So it's just one of those things that, here's our center line, that we can just squish together and move right along. All right, getting to the top now. I think this is the last section, actually, of roof tiles. So let's take a swing around here. And some of these sections, things get really messy, like in this particular point here. Because making circles using only blocks, sometimes you have to just do the best you can. And I think we have our center line right here. So we will go back over here. Closer look in. And then here we are along our center line right there. All right, that should be all the roof tiles. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a ridge of cobblestone, which is the big circle, on top of that. And to make sure, as a check on everything we have done before, we're going to count this one out. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, and a connected 2 right there, a little Tetris piece. And then a diagonal of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then another little Tetris piece. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. 6. And then however long this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And that'll take you past the center line right there, and you can just reverse the numbers that we already counted out to get the other side of the arc here. All right, now on top of that, for some finishing details, we want to add some little decorative finials on the top of here. So wherever we had one of these little cobblestone ridges that you should have built, right there, we want to put just a couple of blocks of diorite, and we're going to be trying making that pattern right there out of diorite. In fact, I think this is one of these places it would be more convenient. If I skip over this phase and that one, and go all the way to the end, because we're just placing a couple of blocks of diorite, and it's not really worth having phases for that, even though I did make them. So here you can see completed diorite, just 5 blocks of diorite there. 5 blocks here. We have to stretch this one out along a diagonal. Same here again. Another one here. One here. And then we hit our center line somewhere around there. So you want to put the next set of finials just like you did the last ones. Another 5 over here for what? 10 in total. All right, and once you have done all the finials, 1/3 of your hippodrome, the difficult round part at the end, will be complete. And also, I will double back and remark that if you have done this so far and what you really want is a different model of Colosseum, you can just build another. You can just slice this down the middle, and remove the track down the middle there, and just build another mirrored image of this, and you will have yourself a model of a Colosseum. Which indeed, if you've done my Roman Colosseum tutorial, you'll recognize the seating pattern and everything, because that is essentially this building. Only this time it's been updated a bit more to include a more accurate Corinthian entablature. All right, so I need to fly all the way back down there, because the next thing we're going to be doing is starting in on this huge long middle section here. Now, I know the middle section looks like it's a lot of work, and it is, but for the purposes of explanation, all I really need to show you in this is how to build this module here. In other words, we'll be building a bank of seating and columns behind that, because we already done the round bit at the end, and you can see everything from that is straight. So once I show you how to build one section of those, you can come along and behind me and build however many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those, and there's going to be a little bit more, so it's going to be like 8 or 9 in total of those. And otherwise, the only difference is going to be the section here for the Emperor's box on this side, and the pediment decoration behind them as well on both sides of the Hippodrome. All right, so I'm going to spend probably several minutes flying all the way back down here, and we will pick it up at the other side. All right, we have arrived back where we need to be, which is going to be to start this phase right here. So we're going to be building the long middle portion of the Hippodrome, as you can see here, not counting the statuary. We'll do that at the very end, after we do all that nightmare down there. But the first thing we will want to do is to lay down more of this section here for the foundation. Trying to remember exactly how far we went on that last time. I think from here, I mean, you already have this dimension. You should have laid down the pattern here. So you're going to want to lay down a big sheet of cobblestone that is going to be at least what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks wide, all the way down here. And let's see how far we need to count. So all the way down to here. And I believe that that this is going to be just about even with this thing in the middle here, if memory serves. Let me just extend this over here and see. Give a good block count for that. Okay. So that is going to be 1 block longer than this section here. and that is where you want to stop for the moment. That's going to be the dividing line between the central section and the towers and the ending and everything over there. Okay, so for a lot of the cobble in the middle down here, this is where we can save materials again. You can leave a lot of this hollow because except for the passageway, it's going to be going through here. All of these blocks will not be visible except for the passageway up there as well. On the interior section, all you really need to do is, if you want to, from this end here all the way down to where we said that we would stop, you can go ahead and build a band of diorite 2 blocks tall, and then on top of that you can put a layer of stone bricks and then a layer of cobbled deep slate like so. If I go back over here, take a look at the reference model. You can see that right here. And then once you get up to the cobbled deep slate layer up here, just build a 2 block wide walkway of cobblestone there as well if you want to. But we'll get to that in the next couple of phases. I think also this interior thing, the platform for the statues and everything down the middle spine of the building, you can go ahead and build that also. I believe we counted out the foundation marks here. So all you have to do is put cobbled deep slate, stone bricks, 2 layers of diorite, more stone bricks, and then just a sheet of cobble on top of that. And then just some cobbled deep slate right here, there. All right, so next phase. Now we are going to put down the bases for what is going to be the next series of columns. You remember all these columns that we built, right? Well, we're going to be building a lot more of those. But the good news is these are all straight lines, so they're going to be really easy. So from here, we want to count out 3 blocks and then put down a column base. 3 blocks and a column base. 3 blocks and column base, and you get the idea. 3 blocks and a column base. You want to keep doing that all the way, without exception, all the way down the building until you get to this point down here where we said we would stop, where you should have 2 blocks and then nothing. Okay. So since we've already talked at length about how to build these columns, I'm not going to reference them again to save a little bit of time for the explanation. But if you want to go ahead and save yourself some time, every place you have put one of these column bases down, you want to go around and build one of these complete columns that you now know how to build. Like so, they are all exactly the same all the way through the building. Like that, they're all in a line. And I will leave you to attend to that. Now behind those, at regular intervals, we want to be placing these hallways here, which are how we get into the Hippodrome. So, since we already know where this point is here, we want to measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Skip 3 blocks for the opening, and then measure what? 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 12. 25 blocks till we get to there, and skip. And the next one from here to here, that should be 25, and then skip 3. And then there's a big long section where we don't have any, because this is where the central central box is. I think on this side for the, well, I think the Emperor's box is over here, but there's also a box over here. So there wasn't any place to put an entrance there. But if we go back down from this side and count from here for 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 blocks. Skip 3 and then skip 25. And skip 3, then skip 25. And then skip 3 again. You can get the measurement for that one there. And you can also see if I show you from the top down, it may be easier if you just want to count column bases. Like if we count 2 column bases on the right here, we have an entrance. Then 4 columns, and then an entrance. 4 columns, and an entrance. And then in the middle, we skip for, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns and an entrance. Then 4 columns and an entrance, 4 columns and an entrance. And we don't have any entrances along the semicircular portion, I think. I don't remember adding any. I mostly did that because I'm not really sure why I did that, actually. That may be a little oversight on my part. Maybe if you want to go back and dig some entrances, though, for the circular portions, you can do that. There would just be 4 of them. And they would extend off in that direction there, 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 and there. And you really only need to put cobblestone on the walls of these back here, and you can leave a lot of the rest of that hollow if you want to save a lot of cobblestone. But we want to extend them back from counting this block here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then probably, what, 13 blocks? And right here we have a half slab because this is the first stair. To get up into our Hippodrome, you want to make all of the entrances exactly the same. They all have the same dimensions on both sides of the building. And for the moment, the building is going to be completely symmetrical until we start building the Emperor's Box. That's the only non-symmetrical portion on this section of the building. So here. All right, so here's more column bases. And I think for this section, all we really need to do is take a look at the entrances here. Because as you can see, for the stairs, we just have a simple 1 to 2 slope here with the full block and the half slab. For every 2 blocks we go back, we're going up 1 block there. And of course, we have the diorite frames over the doorway, like so. And you want to make all the entrances the same. So let's go back here. All right, so as you can see, we now have a cutback and an indentation with more diorite. And you know what that means? We're going to be building this pattern here on the wall again, except this time we're going to be doing it straight. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to do. And this entire pattern, by the way, is just let me just break this here. It's going to be 5 blocks like so. But in the middle here is where you want to skip blocks. In other words, if we would continue the pattern this way, we would build 5 blocks like that there. And of course, we would build that right there for 5 blocks there. You can see we have a very simple alternating brickwork pattern. They are 2 blocks tall by 5 blocks wide, and that will be the same pattern extending all the way up to this portion here. So as we go, bear that in mind. The only interruption to that pattern is going to be the gateways right here. So we now have our passageways in the middle that we can start building, just 3 blocks up. All the passageways in here are going to be 3 blocks wide, like so. And you just want to continue this passageway straight until it meets up with the railway, the little handguard rail here on the side of the Hippodrome. And these sections here with the cobbled deep slate on the bottom are corresponding to these, except they are now going to be bent straight. And to perhaps save you a little time, this little section here is a straight section. It only starts bending once we get to this portion, but all the seating is going to be arranged just like these here. So you can use that as a guide as we go if you want to. And remember, we have 2 blocks of space between that right there And then you just want to, you can use this corridor here that we made as a guide, the last of it here, to extend this all the way straight through the building, even on the portions where we don't have a gateway. But however, it looks like I was going to make a gateway, but looks like I didn't. Oh, well, oh well. Just fill that in with cobble. You can go ahead and add another gateway here if you want to. I thought that there was a gateway missing. That looks like a mistake that I may have made in the reference model. I think that happened because there's not one under the Emperor's box, but there should have been one on the this side over here. There won't be over there because there's not a place for it. But if you want to make another one over here, you can. But let me get some altitude here to show you the complete section. So we're just making a big series of rectangles. Like so. And you can use, of course, the dimensions we've already done for the gateway. Just extend them all the way across. And this gateway we did down here for the round part, just extend that bang straight until it ends up over there. Not too difficult. It's just going to be a lot of block placing. The size is what makes it more difficult than the detailing, really. So you can see here the brickwork pattern, as I said. You can see it intersects right here, and then it continues on. So I recommend that you install the door frames first and the dowel right behind that, and then come back and install the pattern or the brickwork. Because as I explained, it's just another very big repeating pattern. And you may actually want to hold off on that pattern for the moment. Once we get to the next couple of phases after we finish the doors, it'll be more clear as to how those go. But as you can see here, we just extend, we want to extend the cobble deep slate back just a little bit into the hallways. Like so, and we have our first bank of seating. Yes, it's time to build more, even more seating. So, like I said, this complete pattern here for the seating is how these are going to be arranged. So as you can see, this portion here that we've already previously built just extends over the little divider here and goes all the way to the gateway. And then you build more seating, and in the middle of that you want to build a divider. So let's do some counting. So from here we're going to have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows of seats. Then you skip 5 blocks, and then we want to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then skip 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And there you go. So all the seating in general is going to be 11 blocks wide. Once you build one of these, remember back to the start of the video after I was explaining the modular nature of this section. If you divide out the building from here to here, in other words, cut it down the middle of the hallway, we have a complete module of the Hippodrome. Not counting the detail for the Emperor's box and everything, but in general, for the seating areas, we have a complete module. So once you build one of these, you then want to build a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and a half of a seventh. And we're going to build more of those later on whenever we get to the third and final section. All right, so I think that should be fairly clear. So let's go on to this phase over here where, as you can see, we are finishing off the doorways. So we have just very simple doorways. Right here, 3 by 4, like so. And behind these, we're of course continuing our brickwork pattern. So I will go along through here and give you a view of the pattern as it intersects the doorways. In general, you want to Have the brickwork pattern continue uninterrupted except where a doorway overrides it. All right. So for the interior here, we're also capping off our little hallways here, and we have to make just a little space every time we go up for a little half slab. We want to have another half slab right here, just in front of that one, so we can make sure that nobody hits their head on anything. Go back down here. Take a look at the next bank of seating. So as you can see, we have another 11 blocks of seating right there, double half slabs on top of each other like so. And you want to build out the modules just the same for however many modules that was, all the way around both sides of the building. Well, not quite both sides. For this section over here, we now have a change. So I missed this on the last one. We are now building what is going to be the foundation for the Emperor's box. So over here, you want to build this row of 11 blocks of seating and build 2 seating modules. And then where you would build the third and fourth seating modules, you instead want to just fill that in with a big rectangle of cobblestone. It doesn't have to be solid, by the way. This is another place you can leave that hollow if you want to, like so. And just continue your hallway. And just build a little wall around that. It's going to serve as the foundation for the Emperor's box. So over here, a little bit more detail for the entrances here. We have some upside down stairs here for a little lintel. Well, a decorative lintel over the doorway. I think they're actually decorative pediments, if I recall. But behind these, you can see we have just another layer of diorite. All the way down the building is the big, long, straight layer of diorite. The tunnels behind here, of course, we have stairs on the ceiling, just upside down of everything you did down here. And then our passageways right there. So we've got another 11 long row seating, but we've got 2 of those, just like the first one you build. You want to build another one, like so, and then build a complete module, and do all the other modules exactly the same. Over here, same deal for the Emperor's box. You just want to extend that up another block, like so. All right, for the exterior here, you can see the pattern really starting to come in for the blocks. And now that we're finished with the doorways, this is going to be an easy one to do. Because all you have to do is lay down 5 blocks of cobblestone, skip a block, 5 blocks, skip a block, 5 blocks, and skip a block. And do that all the way around the building until you run out of room. So let's land here and take a look inside. So as you can see, we are also now roofing off the top of the corridor. This is going to go all the way down there and all the way out here. We want to put some deep slate, cobble deep slate right there. To cap those off, of course, we've got another 11 block row of seating, just 1. Right there for a complete module, like so, and do all the other modules the same way down the building. On the other side here, we now have a little bit of a difference. We have just a band of diorite on top of the cobble. We've got 1 cobble deep slate, 3 cobble, and then 1 diorite like here. I think we're going to have more than one there. But that's for the Emperor's box. And here we are on the exterior as well. Same deal. I think I've beaten this, talking about this pattern to death. during the series, so I'm not going to remark too much more on this, like I'm not talking about the columns that you should be building out here. We're just going to talk about the things that are essential for you to know. So here, something that's essential for you to know is across the entire bank of seating, just build a big long row of what? That's going to be what? 22, 23, 24. Should be 27 blocks long of seating, like so. For every module right here, of course, we're above the level of the doorways now, so you just want to extend those all the way across with only the dividers separating them. Over here, though, for the Emperor's box, what you will be doing is we want to have a little decorative cornice of upside-down stone brick stairs extending, cutting into the seating, and being wrapped around this big rectangle all the way to the other end. All right. Just stop and take a look at this here. Nothing to say about it. On the interior here, you want to do the same deal with the seating again, except we're only doing one row deep of seating, like you see here, divided by the modules all the way down the building. Over here for the Emperor's box, you just want to make what you did down here for the diorite, do again up here, except just extend it all the way back a little there. All right. Next phase. Now on the last phase, we finished the main module of seating. So now we're going to be building this little walkway that's going to be defining the second tier of seating. And as you can see, like we did previously, if you want to, you can just go ahead and build a 3-block tall layer of cobbled deep slate, like so, from here all the way down to the end there. And you can do that on both sides until you get to the Emperor's box, where you don't want to do that. You just want to extend up your diorite even more, for a total of 2 blocks right there. And then we will go on to the next phase. So there's more of the cobbled deep slate, like I said. Let's go over here for the Emperor's box. What you did down here with the upside down cornice of stairs here, do it again, right there. And just cut it back a little. It's also at this point where we can put in the nice pattern. For the floor of the Emperor's box, of course, we have to have the Emperor walking on a very nice stonework. Because he is the Emperor, he has to have nice things. So as you can see here, this is a very simple pattern. I go into more detail in my Roman road tutorial about these things, because this is taken from there. But as you can see, we do have a little bit of glowstone here and there to, well, it's mostly to keep things from spawning, really. This is a concession to Minecraft, so we have to work things in. Always trying to hide lighting in a way that it's that doesn't end up covering the entire world with torches. Like so, you can see just behind your upside down stone brick stairs, you just want to have a row of cobblestone, and then just build this pattern here. It's just a simple 5x5 repeating pattern. Like see, once you build one of these and one of those, you've got the pattern. Just reverse it, and then reverse it again, and then build a bunch of it. All right, next phase. All right, so corridors again. So use this corridor that we already built, just the end of it. And we are going to want to extend this straight, except it narrows a bit from 3 to 2 blocks wide here. I think I ran out of space. I don't remember exactly why. I'm not sure why these blocks are missing. That should probably just be cobblestone. But you can see here, these little doorways are going to be corresponding to these, except we're now going to be building them straight, Like here's another module of the seating that we're going to be doing. Like so. And from here, we just want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 13, I think. Skip 2, 1, 2, 3. And then that was, that one's 11. And then skip 2. It shouldn't be 11. Did I miscount? And then count for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then skip 2. Must have miscounted that one. Let's just go back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, I didn't. That's odd. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 here. And for this section here, this is what we're building in for the base of some decorative some decorative supporting arches that will. If you remember from the start of it, this is what has the decorative pediment and everything. We've got 2 of those on either side. And below that, we've got a little arcade that we're building. I think some of this die right here, that's going to be, these blocks back here are hidden. So it's not necessary for you to build those. You just want to build these sections here. And it's going to be, what, 3 blocks wide, then 2 blocks of die right here, and then 3 blocks this way, 1 block that way. 3, 1, 3, and then back here we have, well, back here you'll really have 5, but then we have 3 blocks here, and then we have the 3 and the 1 and the 3 and the skipping of the pattern there. So I think it'd be more useful if I go over here and show you this in situ behind the Emperor's box, like so. I think that this line here, that should really be, I think that should be more cobbled deep slate. Or maybe it'd be a small mistake on my part. Let's go over here and count these rows again. So from here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2, 1, 2, 3. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. To get to that point right there, and then we would just want to put in this section here. Like so. This is a repeating pattern, by the way. Once you get one of these built, you then want to build another module there from here to here, and then down here, and then down there. And then here we're doing some of the details for the Emperor's box, which these blocks on the inside are not visible, so you don't have to build those. But of course the Emperor has an ice box made out of quartz. Like so, chiseled with the lines and everything. And of course the senators and the imperial family have their own nice seats over here as well. And I'm not sure that, I think that should probably be like an upside down quartz stair. All of these should be upside down. I'm not sure how that got flipped. And if memory serves, these things are just little fire pots that we have here that you can put either netherrack in or campfires. Just to add a little life to the build. On the front here, you can see, once you've, you remember the 3-block tall layer of cobbled deep slate. Here, we just want to bend that around the Emperor's box like so. And then bend it back around this way and have it intersect the rest of the build. So I want to go back down here and do some counting. So from here, from the end of the middle portion, we want to count for 6 blocks and skip 2, and then what? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, skip 2. And this is probably another 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's going to be 11 too, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, and then, okay, 13. I think the extra blocks there that I think I'm missing are because of the dividers for the seating. That's probably how that happened. But anyway, I think that explains that good enough. So let's go on to the next phase. So interior, just for the hallways, very simple detailing. And for our seating, as you can see, we've got 4 blocks. Then another little gateway here. This is a straight version of these gateways over here. And then 5 blocks of seating, a divider, and then 5 blocks, then a gateway, and then 4 blocks of seating, and then a divider, and then 4 blocks and a gateway. Okay, so those are... I think that's because I chose to make these little divisions 2 blocks wide instead of 3. So we're going to have okay, yes, I remember now. It's been a long time since I made this. That's because that we have, in order to match this pattern, we had to have that unusual spacing with the 2 blocks wide here. So that means that we have 5 blocks and then a module of 4, and then 5. And then 4 again, what would be 4? That's it. Then that's now interrupted by this pattern here. And what we're going to be doing here is building an arcade. These are going to be bases for columns, like, you know, little downright columns. I think these are 6 blocks tall, if I remember correctly. Like so. There, of course, we have little doorways here to get to the passageway. We don't have doorways, just we have doorways in every other one. But remember, we have, what, 5 modules of those. And then you continue down here again with your seating. 4 and 5, and then 4, and then 5, and then 4 again. Well, half of a 4. All right, let's go over here and take a look at the Emperor's box. So let's go back over here and take a good look at everything, just for completeness' sake. And remember, we've got just some extra stray blocks back here you don't have to worry about. You can see how this kind of lines up with the pattern. Not exactly. But of course, I should mention that at this point here, where the Emperor's box is, where his throne is going to be that he sits in, this, if you draw another red line here, this is going to define another line of symmetry. In other words, what we build over here should be a mirror image of what we build over here. So if that makes things more clear for you. And of course we have some nice seats here. And as I said down here, if you want to, instead of the netherrack, you could place campfires as well, or just some simple braziers, upside down court stairs and everything. Actually, now looking at these seats, I think instead of right side upstairs, these should probably be regular stairs. They'd probably look a little bit better. I'll leave it to you to decide how you want to do that. And detail here for the Emperor's box. But that's going to be all the time we have for today. I think you have your work cut out for you building the massive central section of the Hippodrome just in materials alone. So I will leave you to do that. I hope the build is going well for you, and I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.